Good evening. Here we are live again for another Thursday face to face this time. So we just need to get Sean in. So just wait for Sean to join. Sean, are you there? Sean, are you there? We have this problem every time. We're going to have to find a new way of doing this, I believe. Okay, well, let's start because this week we are talking about goals, faith, and vision. Hi Ian, how do you do? Welcome. So goals, faith and vision is what we're talking about this week. And you remember 3 weeks ago, my first video that we put out was, here we go. Let's bring Sean on. We are definitely gonna have to sort this out. Come on, let's bring you on. Yes.
Well,
hello. How'd you do?
yeah, good, thank you. So coming to you from Edinburgh in a room in an Airbnb, so slightly different venue this time.
Very good, very good. How was the trip down?
Yeah, slightly longer with small children, but otherwise we're here. We're here safe and sound, so it's all good.
Excellent. So
So
thanks for joining us.
if
Actually,
there's a bit of,
Sean, thanks for joining because I know you're on a trip with your family, but that's awesome.
no, that's yeah, with a great group of people we got here, and it's always worthwhile. So anything we can do to obviously grow and add value as a collective is always worthwhile, isn't it?
Definitely, definitely. So just thinking about goals, faith, and vision this week, and I was going to rewind back to 3 weeks ago when goals was the theme. And Ian's watching live from a Premier Inn in Southampton. Well, welcome, Ian. Spot on entertainment for this evening, I can tell you. So goals. One of the things we talked about in one of the videos and our post 3 weeks ago was about goals. And one of the distinctions we made was about the difference between setting goals and setting yourself tasks. Now, a task is something that you know that you can achieve. It's something that you know you can do it, and it's something that you pretty much would do all the time. So I think I don't know why, but I use the example of painting your garage. And not something I do regularly, but it is a task. It's something I know I can go to the garage, I can get the paint out, and I can complete that task without any problems at all. And of course, that's not what goals are about. Goals are about putting yourself on a journey and looking at who you're going to become as a result of doing that or partaking or undertaking that journey. Sean, do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, I think if we look back, certainly, my youth and childhood and a lot of years, I remember it's in school and that being talked about setting goals and work environment and often it would be set goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, timely. Was it? Oh, I missed the hour out of there. That's right. So things like that. But the problem with that is if you set a goal in that respect, and you got 90% there. Often, instead of focusing on the 90% of the fact that we've achieved so much, we often focus on the 10% we didn't make. We focus that we didn't achieve it. So with that, the far better way is to not focus on, actually achieving the goal. And in fact, if you're setting a goal which you know is achievable, or you know a path how to achieve it, the goal's not big enough. It needs to be greater than yourself. Also, too, if it includes more than yourself, others as well, and you don't know how to achieve it, that's what it's about. Because it's not about whether you achieve that goal or not. And that's, and especially if you set something that is, you have no idea how you're going to achieve it, and it's quite significant. It's actually about working out and learning who you need to become in order to achieve that goal. Because that process in itself is such a growth process. And by changing the context and reframe of that is whether you achieve that or not. If you set such a quite a large, a big goal in that, you get 80-90% along that way. When you've set something quite big in that, you will be quite satisfied and happy with the 80 or 90% that you've achieved. But also too, that journey you will likely enjoy so much more because of focusing on the person you need to become in order to achieve that goal. And by opening your mind up in that respect, you will be open to more opportunities, open to more circumstances which will provide you or give you the opportunity to achieve that goal. Whereas if you sort of said, I'm going to do this and I'm going to focus this way and I need to do this, this, and this to achieve it, I'm going to do it by next year. Well, as soon as any one of those things that you've just set, those blockers you've set, don't work the way you've planned, straight away you're going to look at the negative and think, oh, right, I shouldn't set goals. They just don't work.
Yeah, it's part of the human condition, sadly, and we have two voices in our head. We have our champion and we have our criticizer, and unfortunately, we do have a tendency, and I think it's because we're fed so much negative rhetoric all the time to focus on the negative. We're always in fact, you even look for the negative in things, which is crazy. Well, what we should be doing is looking for all the positives, and that's a fundamental mindset change, which certainly the EMF Elite Mentorship Forum definitely takes on the journey to be able to enable you to do that. But what's more about that later. But I think one of the key bits there you were talking about, Sean, is that you talk about something where you set goals that you know how you can achieve, and it's something that Peter says. Peter Sage from who created the Elite Mentorship Forum, and he says it, and it's one of the things that really resonated with me, which is if you keep doing what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've always got. And it's something that's really resonated with me because I'm a massive fan of personal growth, and I'm a massive fan of development and transformation, because throughout my lifetime I've seen how it can really, really change you and really completely change the whole focus of your life. And that's what the power of EMF does. It totally changes everything because it gives you a new context. So it's also enabled me to realize that actually I've been setting goals for the wrong context for pretty much the whole of my adult life. I've been setting goals that I know I can achieve. But now I'm in a position where 2 years ago, it was Sean, thank you. And I bless my friendship with Sean every day because he's absolutely the best for introducing me to Peter Sage. And the key thing here is that we had this idea about setting a business together, and here we are, 2 years down the line. I had no idea how we were going to do it, no idea how we were going to achieve it. But dude, a virtual high five. Here we are,
fair,
and it's been an incredible journey. And it's amazing what's coming out. What's come out is the entrepreneurial spirit, the creativity, all these sides to me that I really, I don't know, I just really didn't know existed. So it's been an incredible journey, and that's where you can set a goal. That's real proof of the pudding of setting a goal that you really don't know how you're going to achieve, and that leads us nicely into the next part, which is having faith. Sean, do you want to lead on this one?
Yeah, I think so. With faith, and often when we hear about faith, a lot of people will automatically default to sort of a religious context, spiritual. It's not anything like that. It's a belief. Believing something is because you have something you can compare it against. So I believe that I can do this particular challenge because either I've done that before or I've seen someone who's similar to me do that before. Whereas faith is when there is no reference point. There's no reference point to sort of say, oh, I know I can do that, or I know I should be able to do that. It is just having the faith that I've not done it, I've not seen anyone do something like that, but you know what? It feels right. I just feel with all my heart and soul, head and heart, that however it's going to happen, I will achieve that. And I think often when people talk about faith, they usually talk about faith externally, faith in a religion, faith in someone, faith in something else. But the key here is faith in ourselves, faith that we are all, we're everything we seek already, that it is just that we need to let go and allow ourselves to be that person. We need to have that faith in ourselves that we already have the power, we already have the ability to achieve wondrous and most fantastic things. And it's having that faith in yourself that I set these high goals. I have no idea how I'm going to achieve them that, but I have faith that somehow I will find a way, somehow opportunities will present themselves, somehow the universe will work with me. And that's the sort of thing. So it's about that faith in yourself. And the more faith you have in yourself, the more you will see you will resonate a particular way, you will hold yourself for a particular way, and people will pick up on that. And not only that, that will then provide the opportunity where people will pick up on that and think, opportunities will present themselves as well.
Yeah, it's so true. It comes back to some of the other stuff that Peter talks about on the EMF, which is, it's about getting in the flow and understanding that life, we're on this journey called life, or playing the game called life, if you will. And actually, to your point there, Ian, it's not about religion, but the power and the belief. You're absolutely right. It's about looking within, and letting go, as Sean said. So having faith in yourself can be challenging. And one of the things that I've heard a lot of people talk about lately is this imposter syndrome. Why am I able to, why am I in this position? Why have I been elevated to the position I'm in? And that's because, again, going a little bit back onto what we're talking about in goals, we're focusing on the negative aspects. When, of course, what we should be focusing on is this: I have the faith in my ability to do this. And I'm really digging deep and looking inside yourself and believing in yourself. And so some of this comes back to a little bit of self-love. And if you want to know more about self-love, look in the channel. There's some stuff in there already about that. But it's really important, and the two go hand in hand, that if you set yourself a goal that you don't know how to achieve, you have to have faith in yourself. And that's where goals, faith, and vision all line up and come together in a nice sandwich that enables you to go on a journey of true personal development and true personal growth. And I think it's really important to remember the context of what we're talking about here. We're talking about goals, faith, and vision from a personal transformation and personal development perspective. Anybody can say, I set goals every week and I achieve my goals. That's fine if that's what you want to do. But I've said before, if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've got. So this is about personal growth. And, if you're stuck in, and if you're having challenges in your life, you really want to move on and grow, this is the way to do it. Have faith in yourself. Know that you are everything you need to be. I keep talking about Peter, but he's, with thanks to Sean, he has changed my life. And he talks about this concept of everything in your outer world, the stuff, the things, the world we live in, is reflected by our inner world. So the outer world reflects our inner world. And what he's saying there is that everything that we see and do, touch, and we're engaging with on a day-to-day basis is fathomed by and governed by the way we think, the way we feel, and our emotions. And it's absolutely critical that if we can get this right and see things from a different context from within, then the world around us changes, and it is absolutely. I can't find the adjective. It's not an adjective big enough. So a bit like my goal, I don't know what adjective I need to explain it, but it's incredibly liberating. Let's put it that way.
Empowering.
Sometimes, we can get locked inside and locked in this prison of our own mind, and only you can change that. And that's something that Sean and I can definitely help people with if they're struggling in any respect, as to how you can break down those barriers. So,
CJ, I was going to say, if there's just sort of 2 points there, I think just want to draw people into. You mentioned about imposter syndrome, and one thing is it's realizing, it's just waking up and recognizing when we're falling into that thing. And as you said, you keep doing the same thing you've done, you'll get what you've always got. So it's starting to wake up and recognize that a bit more, that we're falling into that situation, And look, I'll hold my hand up. There's times I have imposter syndrome as well. But the difference is, a few years ago, I had it a lot more. And now when it happens, I recognize it for what it is. So I find I'm then checking myself. So it's about giving yourself a break. In my case, I've had a good 40 odd years on that of conditioning in one way and doing things one particular way. I'm not going to undo that overnight. So it's about giving ourselves a little bit of a break to sort of say, look, we're not going to get it right every time. But the fact is, if we're conscious to it and picking up that, you know what, the thoughts I'm having not empowering to me, it's about being aware of that and giving you the ability to sort of change things in that respect. And the other thing as well, as you're sort of saying, is, about what's the one common denominator in everything in our life? We are. So therefore, we have the power to choose a different path. We have the power to change the action and to do things, to change things. But it all starts here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, see, Ian's put another comment in there. So imposter syndrome is a thing, but knowing the trigger or recognizing your thinking, that is huge. It's in a way normal and kind of parry. Yeah, that's absolutely spot on. And that's exactly what you were saying there, Sean, is that being self-aware, having awareness of when you are starting to go down that slippery slope, and you can feel, and you can actually, something called metacognition, something I talk about a lot, which is humans, we have this incredible ability to be able to think about our thoughts. And that's really unique in many respects. And that's what makes it so incredible, is that if we have we can recognize and be self-aware that there's a thought or an emotion that's being triggered and it's not serving us, and we know it's not serving us, we have the power and the ability through metacognition, i.e. thinking about that thought, thinking about that emotion, to do something about it. And that's key. And as Sean said, it's about waking up when you feel yourself just having that thought and going, actually, I'm not sure if I want that to be in charge. I'm in charge. And then having the ability, then how do I unravel that? How do I unpick that? And that's something we certainly talk about and we learn on the Elite Mentorship Forum, that's for sure. So just leading on then into vision. Vision is incredibly powerful, and it's something that enables you to get passionate, and it's the fire, it's a spark inside you. It's that driving energy that enables you to push forward when things aren't going particularly well, and you start having those negative thoughts. It's a dark time when you can actually using the metacognitive skills to go back to your vision and where is your passion coming from? What is it that's driving you to achieve your goals? And just enables you to pull forward that faith that you've got in yourself and turn off all the negativity, turn off that criticizer, listen to your champion, and then really bring that passion. And what is it do you envisage yourself doing? What do you love doing? And I know Ian well, so I know dragon boating is something he used to be passionate about, and I don't know if he still is, but I could tell when he was talking about it, he used to get really animated and get really excited, a bit like I'm doing about this, because I'm really passionate about it. And my vision is to, ultimately, I want to be able to do this as my full-time job, because I'm so passionate about helping people, and I'm so passionate about the stuff, how we can add value to people's lives. That's my vision, and that's what drives me to stay up late and do all the things we need to do to make your own business work whilst holding down a 9-to-5 job. It's not easy, but I don't care, because it's my passion that's driving me forward, and I have faith that we're going to be successful. And I also have that goal, which is way down the line. I have no idea how it's going to achieve what I've got my goal set on, but who knows? The universe will provide when I'm ready, of course. Sean, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think a few points. I think, as you mentioned in your post, it helps create your why, your reason for doing things. That reason that gets you up out of bed. That if you're an athlete or something like that, and your vision is winning gold in the Olympics and things like that. When you wake up and look outside and it's absolutely throwing it down and horrible weather in that, it will push you to sort of get out in any sort of weather and train and do what you need to do. And I think I I think that's funny thing I find with the whole vision thing is, and I found myself doing this some time ago as well, is trying to think, oh, what's my vision? What's my mission? What's my vision? What am I after? What is it? Now I need to think about this. So I'm going to sit down, right? What is it I'm after? Instead of thinking that it's not about trying to discover what it is. It's about being the best version of yourself, having faith in yourself with those goals that you have no idea in achieving, and living your most authentic, true life, the best life you can. Accepting that sometimes you make mistakes, accepting that things won't always, but just living a enjoyable, passionate life. And out of that, your mission will present itself to you. And I love the story, which Peter used, but it was from a Jeffson, I can't remember the name of the person. And it's a metaphor for vision. And he talks about honeybees. And he sort of says, you know, if you look at honeybees, you sort of say, well, yeah, if you're able to ask a honeybee, and you sort of say, well, what's your mission? And they sort of say, oh, to make honey. But you sort of say, well, okay, we know sort of different, because in fact, it's in them making the honey, it's them going from flower to flower and cross-pollinating all things that keeps the ecosystem going. Now, if all of a sudden all the bees thought, you know what, we need to find out what our mission is. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to sort of sit up on top of this hill on these lovely flowers here with a beautiful view. We're going to sit here until we work out our mission. But if that happened, guess what? Our ecology and a lot of crops and everything else would completely fall down. So it's not about sitting there trying to think, what is it? It's about living the best life and being the best version of you can, having faith in yourself, and seeing that things will present themselves to you. And I'll give you a little bit of a personal example. I set, through EMF and stuff like that, I sort of set up goals, I set up vision, all that sort of stuff. And part of that was living with my family in a particular part of the country, which at the time I had no idea. There was an element I thought, well, maybe that could happen. And I thought, oh, okay, well, I sort of have an idea of one route, so I need to sort of make this goal bigger. But sort of set this up and sort of set the context and plan this ahead. Now, if I set a goal and just sort of set things really straight, I would have said, okay, I'm going to do this job. I need to then get that. And then I need to get this particular job, because for my particular skill set and that, there was one job in this location that I could get. So that's if I was focusing on that route. I didn't. I just sort of said, I don't know how, but somehow it's going to happen. Lo and behold, I ended up in a conversation with the person, my career manager, that managed my career. And that one particular job, there's a lot of competition, possibly wasn't going to happen. And I sort of thought, well, it'll be this or something better. Funny you should say that, Sean. There's actually been this other job that just came across our desk last week. And your career profile would actually be a really good fit for it. So now I am living, up in Scotland, a lovely part of Scotland, with my family, where we want to be, 10 minutes from the beach, doing a job that never even came into my frame, never even conceived that it was possible. And I put that down to having that goals, having that faith, and setting that vision up. And so I'm part way there. I've still got a lot more to go. Don't know how it's going to happen, but bit by bit, things like this, speaking to you lovely people out there, with my very close dear friend as well, this is all part of it. And these things have just appeared. These opportunities have just fallen this way.
Yeah.
And I thought, there's a sort of example of how, in my context, from my perspective, it works.
It's a great example, Sean, and you're a great example as well. But that is a great personal example. It's interesting. Some of the things that we talk about on the Elite Mentorship Forum is about embodying the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So it's about feeling the emotion. It's about feeling how you would feel if all your goals, your faith, and your vision actually came true. And it's incredibly powerful exercise if you can get into that position and truly feel how you would feel emotionally if everything was to be realized now in that moment. It sends a different vibration into the world. It sends a different vibration into the universe. Now that one may sound a bit woo-woo to some people, but it's absolutely true. And anybody who's experienced this themselves will tell you that life reflects exactly who you are. And if you vibrate at that frequency and you are able to transmit that feeling regularly, you can see what's happened to Sean. The whole world, the universe will provide. And it's down that persistent practice. And it's about forgetting all the negative stuff, trying to get rid of that stuff that's in your life. It's difficult, it takes time, it takes practice. It's just like any other skill. You've got to develop it over time. But over time, you do get into the rhythm of, hold on a second, let's be grateful for things instead of looking at the negative. Let's think about how I can feel more abundant in my day-to-day life. What are three things I'm grateful for when I wake up in the morning? And what are three things that I'm grateful for when I go to bed? I said this last time. We wake up in the morning, got nothing else to be grateful for other than, okay, I've opened my eyes, I'm alive. That's one. Two, check, I'm breathing. Great, that's great. And yes, all the arms and legs are moving and working. Perfect. So that's three things ticked off as soon as you wake up in the morning. And then, of course, there's everything else. If you're with a partner, that's great. You can roll over and, oh yeah, great, they're still here as well and they're still awake and alive. Just give me a shake to make sure. But it's little things like that, little practices that we can put into place in our day-to-day lives, little tiny steps. They all chunk up into something bigger. And that's the key here, is believe in something bigger. Believe in yourself, get rid of that criticizing negativity, and have faith in yourself, and create an empowering vision that you get passionate about, get fired up about. And don't worry about how you get there, because the smaller your goal, keep doing what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. If you set your goal on something that you've no idea how to achieve, who knows who you're going to become when you reach the end of that journey.
And just to pick it up on that belief part as well is, adopting the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Is if you don't believe that you can do that, you do it already. How many times have you had a emotional or physical reaction right now to an event in the future that's not happened yet, such as, oh, I've got to give a presentation, or I've got to go do this, and you feel anxious, and you feel, you feel cold sweats and that, and you're feeling all nervous and anxious, and that it's not even happened yet, but you're feeling that feeling right now. So that's in a negative context. If you can do it for that, what's stopping you from doing it from a positive outcome? Thinking ahead, imagining you in the place, your dream home or dream location with your family and your friends and people you love, and doing the things that you enjoy. Picture that in your mind. Feel the emotions. See what you see. Feel what you feel. Hear what you hear. Put yourself in that place. Feel it right now. The fact that you can do it for the negative means you can do it just as much for the positive. And it's about shifting that context and focus to do it a little less about the negative and a lot more about that positive and about the stuff that you want to feel in those moments in your future.
Beautiful. Love it. I knew I chose you as business partner for a reason. Absolutely superb. So that's pretty much goals, faith, and vision. So that's our fortnightly face-to-face this time in terms of the context. There is some other stuff we want to talk about, which is we've got some stuff coming up in terms of a real special offer. If anybody is interested in doing the Elite Mentorship Forum, we have got some crazy discounts going around at the moment. And if you're just interested and you want to know a bit more about it, just drop us a line. Let's not let the money or the cost be a prohibitive factor. Think about a 6-month transformational program that will literally change your life forever. And all this stuff that we're talking about on here is all part and parcel, but it goes into so much more depth, and it gives you real tools and techniques to bring this stuff alive. So we've got some crazy offers on EMF, which so please drop us a line if you're interested. Look, just give us a call, and if EMF's not for you or it's not just right now, at least we've had a chat about it, because there's some other stuff coming as well. So we've got the EMF Light series. Sean, do you want to talk about EMF Light?
Yeah, so EMF Light, if you think, 6 months, I'm not sure what these are. EMF Light is effectively where Peter gave a 2-day condensed EMF in Bulgaria. And when he did that, some of the other EMTs and close friends of his and that actually filmed the whole event. And that's been turned into a package, so an EMF Light. And that's sort of, got a few key modules, and it also has the Q&A that Peter did at the end of that, where people in the audience were asking all different questions of him and stuff, and him answering that. And it covers things like wealth and abundance, mastering emotions, all those sort of things. Some of those key things that we often have a lot of trouble with. So that's sort of a condensed package. So that's something that we'll be able to release soon. But I think as well, as CJ's pointed out, we're very fortunate at the moment that there is sort of a great opportunity coming up where we'll do significantly discounted things on Elite Mentorship Forum. And the two of us, proof of the pudding is it changed our lives for the better and put us in paths that neither of us ever, previous versions of us, would have ever considered that would do it. And here we are. So I certainly never had this within my context and my frame of reference. So we're passionate about it, and I truly believe that it will change your life for the better. Yeah. But look, you hear a lot of things, and you hear a lot of people talk about stuff like this. If it's nothing more than curiosity, as CJ said, look, give us a call. We'll have just open chat. No sales thing or that. Just an open one-to-one chat. Answer any questions, and Christ, throw whatever you want at us. But at least give yourself opportunity. Have a chat. Have a chat with us, and that if you're sort of party thinks, I'm interested. Yeah, let us know, and we'll get in contact with you.
Perfect. So that's the EMF and EMF Lite, and there's also coming soon to a Facebook group near you will be a 5-day challenge, which enables you to just put a few things to test. If you'd like to try that, it's a crazy little challenge. I actually did the 5-day challenge before I got involved with EMF, and it's about the power of peer group. And this is something Michelle and I are really passionate about, which is building a peer group within this network. That's what the personal wellbeing and transformation network is all about. It's about building a peer group of people who can support each other and understand, that we can be better and we can grow, and we can be there and hold a space for each other and ask questions, throw stuff in the chat. If you want to know anything, ping us a message, put it in the chat. If you want a theme for one of the next fortnightly face-to-face that we do, give us a theme. Let us know what you want us to talk about, because we desperately want to know what you want us to talk about. We'll gladly talk about stuff we want to talk about all day, but it's really you guys. We want to know what it is causing you pain, causing you issues, and we can have a deep dive into that and hopefully add some more value, because that's all we want to do. It's just add as much value to as many people as we possibly can. Okay, Sean, any final words from you? Usual thing, just thank you guys. Thank you for those who are live with that and joining us, and thank you for any of you guys in that when you catch up on this later. This is about us, as CJ said, adding as much value as we can, and and it's a two-way thing. So if there are other things you want us to discuss, let us know. We'll talk about that, and the community as well. Peer group is about we talk about having faith in ourselves. But there are times when that sort of faith wanes a little bit, and having a positive, high conscious peer group is there not to sort of drag you through it, but rather just lift you a little bit when you need it, and just remind you that you already have that power, you are already everything that you seek, and that you can already do so much more. And at times we believe in ourselves, and just sometimes having someone remind you of that is all it takes. Thinking, oh yeah, I can do it. Right, thank you for that. As opposed to people sort of saying, no, you can't do that. No, not about that. It's about holding each other up high and walking forward together. Great. Very wise words, Sean. Thanks very much. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for those who are watching on catch up. Please drop us a line if you want to know about anything we talked about today. Sean and I are always available, and we'll be happy to have a chat. So great. Let's bring it to a close. We'll see you guys around, and please join us in 2 weeks' time. And if there is anything you want to ask us, fire away. We're all ears. Thanks, everyone. Take care, and love you all.
See you guys.